Hey, welcome back to Soul Whispers Tarot. I'm Karen and I'm here again with another reading. Today's reading is, what does this person really want you to know? So this is what they want you to know, but they feel like they cannot tell you directly for whatever reason. So we have 4 sets of cards today. Set of cards number 1 is the pink stone. Set of cards number 2 is the amethyst sphere. Set of cards number 3 is the amber, and set of cards number 4 is the purple stone. So we're going to be using the Morgan Greer Tarot, the Romance Angels Oracle cards, and we're also going to look into the messages that I pull out of the bag. So I hope you're all doing really well. I hope you're not all going stir crazy with the lockdowns and things like that. I hope you're all doing really well. So don't forget that there's 50% off of all of my products and services. I have lots of meditations about how to really heal yourself in order to attract your twin flame or a soulmate, or, just really deep love. So I also have ebooks and teaching courses online as well, and so there's 50% off of everything on my website, so check out the details below this video. And really soon I'm going to be releasing a new meditation series, which I'm really excited about, but I'll let you know a bit more about that the sooner we are to releasing it. So I'll give you a few moments to tune into the energies of the cards, and it's fine to be drawn to more than one set of cards. These are general messages, so take whatever resonates, leave the rest. Overall, you must follow your own intuition. So you can pause the video right now, but I'll give you a few moments as well. Okay, so let's look into the messages. Okay, so this is set of cards number 1, which is the pink crystal. So what does this person really want you to know, but for whatever reason they cannot tell you directly? So we've got the tarot, we've got the messages from the divine masculine cards, the oracle cards, and then we're going to be looking into these messages as well. Okay, so what does this person really want you to know right now? So there's the 5 of Swords. I did just notice that there was the word shy upright in the bag, so that may be a factor. There's the High Priestess, the 6 of Pentacles. I'm here for you. This is true love. I trust you. And from the Romance Angels Oracle card, there's passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So like I said, there could be shyness involved here. They may want you to know that the reason that they haven't been coming forward is because of their shyness. And it's no reflection about how they feel about you, in terms of they feel all this passion for you. They feel like your connection is true love. And it says, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So they feel really uplifted. They feel like they're on cloud 9 with you. They may be feeling a bit intimidated if it is the shyness aspect involved here. But they really want you to know that the reason they're like withdrawing or, pushing you away with this 5 of Swords, it's not because they don't love you. They feel, like I said, that you are the one for them. This is true love. So they may have had some trust issues in the past. They may have wondered if you really loved them, or whether you were just in love with their potential, because they may feel as though they've been pushing you away, and this is their own fears that have been pushing you away. And because they haven't fully been there for you, or because they did push you away, then they may be feeling like, well, how can you as the viewer decipher if you truly love me or not, if I haven't even allowed myself to get too close to you or open up to you fully? And so there may have been trust issues in the past. They may have been hurt in the past. and felt like they were getting carried away with this passionate feelings. They may have felt as though they were losing control because they were getting extremely emotionally involved. They may have felt as though you were getting extremely emotionally involved, and therefore they worried that you weren't seeing them clearly in a true light. But you are the high priestess energy here, which is saying that you do see this person clearly. You see beyond the veil. You see beyond their human self and all the conditioning that we go through as humans. You see into their soul. You see into their truth. You see the truth of this connection. But now they have I trust you. They want you to know that they have regrets for pushing you away. If we look at this card more closely, the person that's pushed the other people away has 3 swords, and that's a 3 of Swords card, which is all about heartbreak. So it's this person's own heartbreak from the past that's created trust issues with other people, I'm feeling, or it's they had major fears of having their heart broken. That's what's pushed you away. It left you with the 2 of Swords, which is you felt confused. You're like, should I stay or should I go? You know, is this going to go anywhere or not? Is this person ever going to let me in? Because I get the sense that it feels like trying to get blood from a stone when it comes to getting this person to open up about their feelings. So yeah, they saw you as being extremely generous with the 6 of Pentacles. And they were like, why is this person giving me so much time and attention? And why are they so adamant about trying to make this work? Because again, they didn't have trust that they were good enough, is what I'm feeling. But now I feel like they're seeing the light. They want you to know that they are now seeing beyond the veil of their own fears, of their own heartbreak. They're allowing their heart to open because, you know, I mentioned that 3 of Swords card, which traditionally shows the heart being pierced by 3 swords. And the swords are about mind and perception. And so it was their own thoughts that were like stabbing themselves in the heart. This person, I feel, is self-destructive because of a lack of self-belief or a lack of self-love. But that was, you know, creating this head versus heart thing. And they couldn't see beyond their logic. They couldn't see beyond their overthinking mind. But now they want you to know, because I feel like there's a separation between you, which they may have caused. They pushed you away in some way and you may have felt like you had to walk away. But now they want you to know that they are seeing the truth. They're seeing beyond their illusions. They've had time and space to see things much more clearly now. And that's why they trust you now. They trust this connection. They trust their own judgment. And they want to give back to you equally. There may have been a time when you were giving them a lot of time and attention, but they were giving someone else or something else in their life more of their time and attention, and it's like they were turning their back on you. And I do feel like it was partly because this person felt much more secure in you chasing them. Like they needed so much reassurance. But, you know, it's definitely an indicator that this person needs to work on their own self-esteem and realizing their own self-worth. But they want you to know that now they've had this realization that they are here for you. They're thinking about you from afar. They realize that it's true love. And they trust everything that you were giving them. Because, again, they may have felt like you were giving so much to them because you were trying to get them to give you something in return. In terms of you were trying to put in all the work, and you know that may have subconsciously made them feel like you didn't really trust their capability of truly being there for you, and you know that may have felt like an indirect rejection for them, or they felt embarrassed, like you didn't feel that they were competent enough to give equally in a relationship or something like that. But deep down they feel all this passion. So let's look into these messages here. What does this person want you to know right now? social media. So this person, I feel, is watching your social media. They may be communicating through their own social media, whether that's directly, like inboxing you, or whether it's sharing things on their wall or posting things in their Instagram or something like that for you to see. I feel like this person has done a lot of hinting. They've been indirect when it comes to trying to show you their feelings. They've definitely struggled with that. And so they may have got too attached to social media. They may be feeling some sense of closeness by looking at your photos or something like that. Or there's something about communicating with you through social media, but that may have been a block in a way, because that may have become their comfort zone. And if they were shy, then maybe they didn't like take proper action steps in real life. Maybe they just kept it to social media or something like that. So what they want you to know, this one's fallen out, different paths. So yeah, you may be going down different paths right now, or you may have had to go your separate ways in order for this person to realize things. They may have realized what they had once it was gone, or they may have felt like you were trying to speed this connection along. And some of you may be laughing at that because you felt as though it was going so slowly. But I feel like a lot of this person's energy may have been spent trying to keep you at arm's length. With that 5 of Swords, because like I said, they have their own heartbreak, they had their own issues going on, or they were afraid of heartbreak. And so it's like they kept you on different paths in certain ways. But yeah, some of you may have had to go down different paths to learn different lessons. But yeah, this person has had the time and space to realize that they feel this is true love. Infinite bond. So yeah, they may have needed time and space. They may have needed to push you away over and over and over and over again for them to finally realize that the bond is infinite. They cannot run away from this. They cannot basically run away from themselves, looking into themselves, doing the healing work. They were running away from that fear of rejection, being avoidant is what Spirit is saying. And so they have had this time and distance to know now that it is an infinite bond. Heaven on earth. So yeah, they felt truly uplifted by your connection. This connection has really connected them to their higher self, to the divine, to the universe, to God, you know, whatever you want to call it. They feel so much more deeper meaning in their life since meeting you. And I feel like they put a lot of pressure on themselves, or maybe they just felt like it was an illusion, this heaven on earth feeling, because they never felt this way before. They may have felt like it was a trick. They were afraid to invest emotionally, even though they already were. But they were afraid to fully trust and surrender and just go with the flow of things in case, you know, things ended or it didn't turn out how they hoped. They were trying to avoid like massive heartbreak, basically. So what do they want you to know? Yeah, I feel too much for you. That is just what I was saying. They felt like they were too emotionally invested. They felt like the rug could be pulled from beneath their feet at any moment. And so they may have felt safer keeping things to social media and kind of thinking to themselves, or maybe even saying to you that things will work out in the future, things will be better in the future. And that may be, you know, there may be some truth to that in terms of if this is an infinite bond, if this is a soulmate or a twin flame connection, then often you do have to go on different paths for a while in order to heal karma with other people, karma with each other, come back to self-love and all things like that. And so yeah, I feel that there was meant to be like different paths, and they may have been telling you that things are going to work out in the future. And like I said, there's an element of truth to that, but I also feel like that this person may have partly used that as an excuse to stay in their comfort zone because they didn't know how to heal themselves, or it just felt too uncomfortable trying to do that healing work. So one final message. What does this person want you to know? This one here. Healing. Yeah, they're healing. So yeah, your connection is healing. They're healing these blocks and these fears that they once had. So yeah, I really hope this reading has resonated with you. Please check out my other videos, look at my playlists. I have tons of videos on here about how does this person feel about you, what they want to happen, what they want you to know and what is going to happen, and all things like that. So go check those out. If you would like an additional free reading every single week, which is exclusive to my email subscribers, then please also sign up to those by clicking on the link below this video. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already by clicking the bell icon as well and turning on all notifications, and that will notify you every time I release a new reading, which is about every other day. So thank you so much, and I'll move on to the next set of cards. Okay, so welcome to set of cards number 2. This is the Amethyst Sphere. So what does this person want you to know, but for whatever reason they feel like they cannot tell you directly at this time? So we're going to look into the Morgan Greer Tarot. We have the messages from the Divine Masculine cards, the Romance Angels Oracle cards, and then we're going to look into these messages here. Okay, so what do they want you to know? There's the Page of Wands, the Emperor, and the Knight of Wands. This or that. I want to share my feelings with you. You inspire me to be my best version. And new love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Okay. So what does this person want you to know? They want you to know that they struggled to know what direction to go in. There's 2 cards here about movement, the Page and the Knight of Wands, and the Emperor as well. So these are all cards about taking action, taking control of their life and movement. And so this person, they may have been stuck for a long time feeling like, do I hold on to this connection with you, or do I move forward in my life? Do I embrace new love with someone else? They may have felt disheartened. They may have felt like there were so many obstacles, or it just wasn't working out with you, or maybe they felt like you both weren't compatible. There was definitely strong chemistry. There may have even been love involved. Some of you may have even been soulmates. But there's a sense that they felt this soul calling to keep moving forward. They may have met someone new. You know, this could be explaining the past as well. They may, you know, really want to explain to you, give you an explanation about why they may have chosen someone else. Because we do have, I want to share my feelings with you. I feel like they've been struggling to do that, many of them. That may have been one of the main complications, that they feared being open and vulnerable with you. Maybe there was someone else that they met and things just seemed to flow much more easily. This person's definitely got karma with this other person, and I feel that their soul like really drew them to move forward in that way. You inspire me to be my best version. So I feel like this person, they're still holding on to you. They still feel this love for you. You're still very much on their mind. And You inspire me to be my best version. I do feel like you were this catalyst for a spiritual awakening for them. So that's extremely intense. That's an extremely intense path to go on. For some of you, this could mean that they want direction for a new beginning in your connection. For some, it's like both. It's like they're soul was calling them to have a relationship with someone else, because this other person is a different kind of soulmate for them. They've got lessons to learn, or maybe this is like a companion soulmate, like someone where things just flow much more easily, and it's much more of a traditional kind of 3D relationship, and things kind of flow and work out in that way. Whereas in your connection, I feel it's much more of a deep, like very deep soul connection, a soul catalyst, healing connection. So there's a lot of triggering, there's a lot of fears, there's a lot of core wounds from past lives that are coming up into the mix. And I feel like basically there needs to be much more enlightenment on both sides for you to be in alignment with this person in the long run. Like there's bigger soul lessons, and they may have felt drawn to be with someone else where there aren't such intense soul lessons. For some of you, you may be in this scenario within your own life as well. Like you may be with someone else where in a sense things flow much more smoothly with the other person, but there's much more intense emotions with this person that we're, focusing on in this reading. And so this or that, I feel as though this may be a scenario where they are with someone else and they do have love for this other person, and in a way they feel happy and quite content in this other relationship. But at the same time, like I said, they're still holding on to you because, it's like they can't forget about you because you're a deep soulmate connection or a twin flame or something like that. But right now, I feel like they're destined to be with someone else, or you're destined to be with someone else, or both. But they still want to share their feelings with you. There's still like this soul contract between you where you're both healing and learning lessons. And there's still like part of that contract is things that are supposed to happen. And I feel like this person is supposed to be open, upfront, their true, authentic self, and really expressing that to you. I feel that is part of that soul contract. And so there's still this energy going on of where they want to share their feelings with you, but it's difficult for them to do so. This is one of their soul lessons to do with self-confidence, in being their true self. And you inspire me to be my best version. So they're really feeling drawn to you. And like I said, I feel like this is a dual kind of energy. They are wanting this new beginning. They're still having this movement towards you. They're still having this movement in terms of their healing process. I feel like the time will come when they will express their truth to you like they've never done before. And that's like a checkpoint on the soul contract. That's like one of the goals. And this person is still going through life, learning things, healing things until they feel they're at the right place to be able to do that, to be able to be authentic with you. But, it's going to be a different time scale for different people. This is a general reading. And I never really like to say, definite time scales anyway. Okay, so let's look into these messages here. What does this person want you to know at this time? In the palm of your hand. So, yeah, they're very much still in love with you. They're very much, they feel like their heart sings with joy. For you, they feel much deeper emotions for you, and I feel like they always will compared to anyone else. there may, for some of them, have been this fear that you could crush them. You know, if their heart is in the palm of your hands, they feel like maybe you had the power to crush them. Like, there's definitely a lesson here for this person to stop giving away their personal power, stop determining their worth based on your opinion of them, and other people's opinions of them. But yeah, this person worries too much about what you think, and that's really held them back in your connection. And I feel like that's a deep soul lesson for them to have that self-esteem and realize that anyone else's actions do not determine whether they are lovable or not. Wow. So 4 have come out. What do they want you to know? Misaligned. So yeah, like I said, it's not quite the right time for this full alignment. There's still more healing. You may be on different paths in a certain way, like in a 3D kind of way. But you're still very much connected. But yeah, there's a misalignment. There's still that healing of self-love within you both that needs to be reached and karma healed with other people and within this connection as well. I'm sorry. So yeah, they feel a lot of regret. They want you to know that they are sorry if they, you know, felt drawn to go in a different direction. They feel sorry that they disappointed you. They never wanted you to feel as though they didn't love you, because they have always loved you, and I feel like they always will. Yeah, karmic contract. Yeah, they have a karmic contract with someone else, or it's part of your karma that you go through this separation and you learn different lessons through perhaps disappointment or through other people or other experiences. These difficulties were definitely written in the stars to help you both learn and grow. Chasing. So they want you to know that, well, to me, running and chasing is like the same thing. When someone's chasing, it's like they're running away from their own wounds of abandonment and rejection. So they chase someone outside of themselves. They're trying to find that validation and love and approval outside of themselves. They're running away from their own pain. You know, they're looking for a solution outside of self rather than the need to find that self-love within. So there's been running and chasing going on. I feel like this person, it may seem as though they've been running from you, but they have actually been chasing you, in terms of they were trying to keep you attached to them in certain ways, and that was their form of chasing. Or, you know, some of them, they may have been trying to play hard to get or something like that. There may have been some kind of game playing going on, and it's not because they're a bad person, but this is like a learned behavior. It's what I'm feeling. They felt powerless, and so they tried to take back power with that Emperor, in terms of getting you to chase them. So one final message. Mirrored comfort zones. So yeah, I do feel like relationships are mirrors of ourselves, and so there was definitely some kind of comfort zone that neither of you were fully stepping out of, you know, whether we realize that or not. Sometimes we can feel like we really are stepping out of our comfort zone. Maybe in certain ways we are, but then there may be this like major fear, which is a block that we don't fully consciously like realize. And so misaligned because of the mirrored comfort zones or the mirrored karma that needs to be healed. So please check out my other videos, look at my playlists. I have tons on here about What does this person feel about you? What do they want to happen? What is going to happen between you? And all readings like that. So please check those out, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It really helps me to grow my channel. And if you do subscribe, please tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications, and that will notify you every time I release a new reading, which is about every other day. So thank you so much, and I'll move on to the next set of cards. So welcome to set of cards number 3. This is the Amber. So what does this person really want you to know, but for whatever reason they feel like they cannot express that to you directly? So we're going to look into the Morgan Greer Tarot. We have the messages from the Divine Masculine cards, the Romance Angels Oracle cards, and then we're going to look into these cards as well, these messages, sorry. So what does this person want you to know right now? So you have the Five of Cups in reverse, the Magician, and the Six of Cups. I screwed up. My heart is broken. And I'm letting go of the past. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Okay, so what does this person want you to know? They want you to know that they have regrets because they feel like they screwed up. They want you to know that their heart is broken and they're really sorry about whatever's happened, which created some kind of separation or some kind of ending of a specific cycle in your connection. You know, whatever falls away, though, is a blessing in disguise. Whatever, you know, unhealthy dynamic was going on, I feel that has fallen away, but it may have fallen away in a painful situation or experience. They want you to know that they're now working on manifesting or creating a new beginning, a reconciliation. This is the Soulmate card, and it's about someone from your past returning to your life. He's offering the cup with the flowers to the girl. So this could be a masculine energy that's going to express their love to you if you're the feminine, or it could be the other way around, you know, however it resonates. So this is a reconciliation. They're working towards that. They're holding out for hope that there's still going to be a second chance or another opportunity for you to be together or make things work this time around. They're hoping that there is going to be a second time around, because there's the Two of Cups that are still upright behind them, and that's like the Two of Cups card, which is the happy relationship. So there's definitely healing of the inner child going on, letting go of the past. There may be some kind of third-party situation that they need to release in order to make room for your connection to develop. So this could be another person, or it could be any kind of thing or energy that was blocking them from being able to move forward and have a harmonious connection with you. Because your connection has always been there, but I feel like there's been a lot of disharmony because of third-party situations. I do feel like you're mirrors of each other, especially with this infinity symbol. And so, you know, there may have needed to be a separation in order for healing to occur on both sides. But because we're looking into their energies, you know, I'm just focusing on them. But I don't mean it to imply that it's just them that needs to heal. So they feel like they screwed up because they either chose someone else, or they chose their comfort zone, they chose their doubts. Basically, they chose fear over love and trust, and overtaken a leap of faith. And they feel like they screwed up, like they feel like they didn't take enough action, or they made the wrong decision. And so now they're coming into this energy of inner mastery or self-mastery, because the Magician has mastered the energies of the Wands, the Pentacles, the Cups, and the Swords. And so this is inner balance, coming to a lot of realizations, a lot of epiphanies, my heart is broken. You know, they may have taken your connection for granted, but once they feel like they lost you, then they've felt all this heartbreak, and that really, you know, created epiphanies for them, because I feel like their mind or their logic or some kind of overthinking was really clouding their judgment, clouding their intuition. But now they're having this intuition, this inner knowing. I feel like they've already taken a leap of faith in terms of trusting in this connection, because before the Magician is the Fool card, and then it moves into the Magician. This is them taking action to create that reconciliation. They're taking action by letting go of the past, letting go of their blocks, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So this person may have had difficulties in expressing their true self, being open and vulnerable, fears of rejection. But you know, what they are working towards right now is really opening up, really revealing their emotions to you, really healing themselves, because they want to get to know you, they want to get close to you, they want to be emotionally intimate with you, which means, you know, letting down their walls, letting down their guard. So let's look into these messages. What does this person want you to know right now? Life or death. So yeah, to them it was a life or death situation. They had, my heart is broken. It's like that was their biggest fear, that they would be broken-hearted. And so I feel like they kind of got caught up in a catch-22 situation where they feared coming towards you in case that created a tower moment and things not working out, or they feared screwing up, and therefore they didn't take action, or they felt like they weren't good enough. And so if they weren't good enough, then that would screw up the connection and you would reject them or leave them, or they were worried that they wouldn't be mature enough to make things work. And so they had a fear of screwing up. And so it felt like a life or death situation. So that catch-22 is they feared moving forward and taking action because that would speed up the destruction. You know, if they had doubts and fears that it wasn't going to work out, they felt like taking action would just speed up that process, and then they wouldn't be able to, you know, feel as though there's still opportunity there in the future, in, you know, holding on to the future, holding on to the hopes and dreams that they had. You know, they didn't want things to become too real and their dreams are shattered and everything falls apart and they lose you for good. But then the catch-22 thing is that they also feared that if they didn't take action, then they would lose you as well. So they may have been trying to feed you with false promises, or, you know, maybe they weren't false promises. Maybe they were just kind of living for the future and thinking they'd be more confident, or things would just work out more smoothly in the future and things can get off the ground and the obstacles can be overcome. And so they may have been talking a lot about the future, and then you may have realized that that was always seeming to stay in the future, and things weren't really grounding or becoming reality in the present moment. And so that may be why some of you needed to walk away. But it really has felt like a life or death situation for this person, like worrying so much about what you think of them, whether you're going to love them or leave them, you know. And so they may have been trying to be like that magician. Sometimes the energy of the magician is trying to, you know, be like, look, I can offer you this, I can offer you that, I can offer you the other. But the magician, you know, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. So what do they want you to know? Separation, yeah. So like I said, a separation has occurred. You know, it's a life or death situation. They've been so afraid of separation. This person definitely felt for some reason that they could keep you in their life if there was still a separation, and they could keep you holding on in some kind of way. They may have been trying to have you hold on to an illusion that they were trying, it's like they were trying to elaborate on their, or what's the word, you know what I'm trying to say, I think. Exaggerate. They're trying to exaggerate certain aspects of themselves or their life to try and fit, because they felt like that was going to keep you there. But they were so afraid of separation, of abandonment and rejection. And I feel like you've been so afraid of that as well. And this is the mirror that's going on. And so, you know, it's like that was a huge block. That was a huge elephant in the middle of the room. This major fear of rejection, this life or death, like panicky feeling. But, you know, because that fear was so strong, that's definitely a fear, a wound, an illusion that needed to be healed on a soul level. And so I feel something happened that made you both feel rejected, like your biggest fears came true for both of you. Like they may have hurt you and you had to walk away. You felt devastated. And then because you've walked away from them, they feel that devastation. Their biggest fear came true as well. But it's because you were both subconsciously trying to avoid healing that wound by directly going through it. The wound had to happen. The wound had to be lived out in order for you to really feel that and really work through it and release it. Mask. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You know, some people have been saying that I talk about masks too much, so I was trying to not use the word mask, but it's come out. Yeah. The magician, smoke and mirrors, wearing a mask, trying to exaggerate certain aspects of themselves to try and be what they thought you wanted them to be. I feel like you both were wearing masks, whether you realize it or not, and that was the shared kind of comfort zone. I feel like both of you were kind of in a comfort zone, and neither of you were fully stepping out of it. Like, you may have stepped out of your comfort zone a little bit with each other, but there was a major need to really, really step out of the comfort zone and face the possibility of rejection. And I feel like for many of you, you know, neither of you fully stepped out 100%. And, you know, this is fine. You know, I'm not trying to blame anyone or anything like that. This was all a subconscious thing. But because you were both kind of staying in the comfort zone, then the universe had to step in and almost create like the pain or your worst fears coming true to force you to face the fear of abandonment and rejection. So I'm hoping my messages, or the messages that I'm channeling here, are being an epiphany for some of you. Unfair, yeah. I screwed up. The 5 of Cups, which is about a loss. The spilled milk. The ending of a cycle. It feels unfair. Whatever's happened has felt unfair. This person feels like it's unfair because they love you so much, and yet it seems so complicated. There's such deep fears and wounds and illusions that, you know, often we can't make a decision and be like, yeah, I'm going to face that fear and do that, because it's such a deep hidden like wound in the subconscious that we don't consciously realize it's there. So we don't consciously realize that we're not facing our fears if we don't fully understand that they're there. So something feels unfair. Some kind of tower moment feels unfair. They feel like the separation is unfair. Intimidated. So yeah, they felt intimidated by the connection, by you seeing them in their true vulnerable state. And you know, when we are intimidated, that is why often we can wear a mask. You may have felt like there was an unfair exchange going on. Like Some of you may have felt like you took off the mask more than what they did, but I still feel like there's a mirrored mask aspect of feeling intimidated by the fear of separation and rejection. So one final message. Hoping and praying. They're hoping and praying for that reconciliation, for you to get to know each other, you know, as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. I feel like that was the block. You're both wearing masks, and so you weren't truly progressing when it comes to revealing your innermost selves in some kind of way. And so that was blocking your bond from deepening, and so the Tower moment had to happen. So please check out my other readings. I have tons on here. Check out my playlists. I have loads of readings about how does this person feel about you, what's going on in your connection, what's going to happen between you, and all readings like that. So please check those out, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications. That will notify you every time I release a new reading. And if you would like a free additional reading every single week, which are exclusive to my email subscribers, then please sign up to those by clicking on the link below this video. So thank you so much, and I'll move on to the final set of cards. Hey, so welcome to set of cards number 4. You've chosen the purple crystal. So how does this person truly feel about you? Sorry, what do they want you to know? But for whatever reason, they feel that they cannot express that to you openly and directly. So we're going to look into the Morgan Greer Tarot. We have the messages from the Divine Masculine cards, the Romance Angels Oracle cards, and these messages in here as well. So what does this person want you to know? 2 of Swords. That's a frustrating card to come out, isn't it? The Judgment card in reverse. Ace of Cups. That's much more positive. Okay, so I'm in a dark place. I'm sorry. And I'm here for you. And deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Okay. Right. And it's got a blindfold on here as well, which is kind of like a mask, like masking their eyes, trying to hide from the truth, trying to hide from making some kind of decision. So what this person wants you to know, they feel like they're in a dark place. This person may be going through the dark night of the soul, and basically that is when a major shift in consciousness is happening, but it's happening at such a rapid rate that our mind cannot process it quick enough. The ego has fears about the soul, you know, taking center stage and the ego taking the back seat, basically, because we grow up thinking that our ego identity is who we truly are, because our ego is like many things, but it's also a collection of all our beliefs about ourselves, beliefs we may have adopted from other people, whether they were good or bad. So, you know, the ego stores a lot of stories, basically, that we have about ourselves, beliefs about who we are, and we think that's who we are. We think, you know, we can think that our job determines who we are, how people have treated us in the past determines who we are, and our worthiness and how lovable we are. But none of that is true. That's all an illusion. Who we truly are is our infinite soul that incarnates many, many times in all, you know, in all lifetimes. It's the part of us that stays the same, or, you know, it doesn't stay the same. We always progress, we always expand our consciousness, we always continue healing, but it's our essence of who we truly are in all of our incarnations, and, you know, between incarnations in the higher dimensions. And so This person wants you to know that they're going through this massive catalyst in terms of their awakening, and what the ego's natural response to that is to like try and block that, try and stop that, because like I said, the ego fears being crumbled basically in order for the soul truth, the remembrance of who we are, who we really are, to emerge and take center stage. This inner union with our true self. And so this person's really going through that. It's really turning their life upside down. Judgment in reverse is the soul calling. This is that enlightenment. This is like the divine calling this person to begin to embrace their true self, begin to remember their true self. And they're saying, I'm sorry, because they've been in this deception for such a long time. You know, the ego deceives us of who we really are. It's a set of beliefs, it's a set of stories, and we can become very comfortable in that false identity. You know, this all happens on a subconscious level, but this person, they really want you to know that they're sorry. You know, they know that you feel at times that they don't love you, or they don't love you as much as you do. But what it is really is that they're really in the beginning stages of this awakening, and it's such an upheaval. It's so intense. You know, I cannot use like any words to describe how intense this process is, and how scary and unknown it is, and this person not consciously knowing what's going on. And so this person, they feel on a subconscious level that when they get close to you, that is actually a catalyst for this awakening to happen even quicker. They feel this major like magnetic pull, which is like ripping off the safety blanket, ripping them out of their comfort zone, and it feels extremely scary. It feels extremely unstable because they haven't felt secure. You know, they haven't found their footing in this true version of themselves, and so they feel all over the place. They feel emotionally all over the place. There's this roller coaster of emotions. They feel this intense, deep love for you, but also, you know, because the ego is breaking down, one of the ways it breaks down is for all this pain that we bottle up inside of our subconscious, that's being triggered up to the surface. And so they may have this strange kind of association where they think of you and they feel such heavenly, deep love, but then they feel this intense pain and fear and separation and loneliness, in a sense, because they're realizing that they've forgotten their connection to the divine, basically. And so they're feeling that separation, but they're also feeling like this deep connection all at the same time. And that's what they feel with you. And so they've been in resistance. They've been trying to distract themselves, but they want you to know it's not personal, basically. And they feel this deep love, the heart awakening with the Ace of Cups. So to me, I believe that the heart is the gateway, the connection to our soul's wisdom, to our intuition, to our soul's truth. And so the heart is awakening within this person, and it is overflowing with love. But like I said, these connections, they create such a catalyst that it's like opening a can of worms. It's opening up, triggering up all of those wounds that we've bottled up, all of those illusions, those stories. And, you know, we've got to relive those kind of feelings when, you know, they're passing out of us. You know, we've got to have them come into our conscious awareness so that we can consciously release them. And so we feel that pain all over again temporarily. But this person doesn't consciously know that that's what's happening. All they know is that they're feeling this pain and they don't want to feel that. We've been taught to like repress our pain, push it down, you know, bottle it up, put it to the back of our mind. And so this is like a learned, conditioned behavior. And so that is what this person's doing. But unfortunately, it means when they're trying to repress their emotions, their pain, it's also like trying to close down their heart. It's repressing the love, or it's repressing them from understanding that the love is there. You know, when we shut down our feelings, when we try and shut down our pain, it has the effect of shutting down all of our feelings and bottling it up. And so this person's in a lot of resistance. So yeah, they've been wearing masks with you. They're trying to continue to stay in this deception within themselves because it feels much more comfortable for the ego. But you know, the soul truth is so much stronger than the ego, because the ego is from this particular lifetime, whereas the soul is infinite. And this lifetime is just like a drop in the ocean to the soul. So the soul energy is infinitely stronger than the resistance. And so they can keep resisting for however long they feel like they need to, but that's going to become much more of a struggle. The more they go along, the more and more that's going to become a heavy burden. And so they want you to know that when the time is right, they will release resistance. They will have this open heart that's overflowing. That's like going with the flow. That's surrendering. That's allowing everything, all the emotions to come up, and for them to really allow themselves to feel those emotions. And that's when this person's going to have an epiphany. And they're going to really be there for you, because they're no longer going to have this illusion that resistance is going to help them in some way. They're going to realize that their resistance is holding them back and creating heavy, like, energetic burden. It's like holding in their pain. It's like, you know, when we have resistance, it's like the pain isn't so intense, but it's always there in the background, and it's a heavy burden. But when we surrender, it's like our pain comes up and it's really intense, but it burns out a lot quicker, so that that pain is released, and it can be replaced with love and healing and all things like that. So let's look into these messages. What does this person want you to know right now? Dreams. So this person is having dreams of you, but they also have dreams and goals about being with you. I feel like a lot of interaction is happening on a dream state. Like, this person may be in so much resistance in their day-to-day waking life that they're trying to communicate how they truly feel through dreams. So you may have like really vivid dreams about them as well. There's two here. Intimidated. So yeah, they feel intimidated by this whole awakening process. They feel intimidated by you because you see the true them. They may not even be able to see their true self, but you see the true them. But that may cause some trust issues, because they're like, she's in love with some idea of me, but they're feeling like that's not the real them. They still feel like their ego identity is the real them. And so they're like, is she just in love with my potential, or has she just projected a fantasy onto me? And they're afraid that if they get close to you, then you're going to realize that they're not who you thought they were, and you're going to end up rejecting them. Hoping and praying. So yeah, they're hoping and praying for a new beginning in love. They're hoping and praying for healing, for you to have a second chance, for you to be able to get back together. It's good that they're hoping and praying. It means that they're going inwards. They're connecting with the divine. Lessons in self-love. So yeah, the separation that's happening at this time is because there needs to be self-love attained. before, you know, before you can come back together in a harmonious way. Because, you know, if we're not in a place of self-love, then we cannot give or receive love with another in a healthy way. And, you know, if we're not in self-love, then we don't believe that we deserve love, and that's a block as well. So there is healing going on to do with self-love and self-worth. Heaven on earth. So that's like that Judgment card. It's like bridging the gap between our human self and the divine. And you are that catalyst. You are that bridge to them. They feel so much more connected to the spirit world, to their true soul identity through this connection. And they love that. But at the same time, it scares the hell out of the ego self, which is in that process of breaking down. So one final message. What do they want you to know right now? Broken heart. So yeah, they have a broken heart. And that's also why they're feeling in a dark place right now. Because this person may have tried to take some shortcuts. You know, they may have tried to make things work between you without doing the healing work. But that's because they didn't really understand that healing work needed to be done. And so I feel like that's why it's been very chaotic within your connection. Very up and down, like a roller coaster of emotions. So please check out my other videos, look at my playlists. I have tons of readings on here about how does this person feel about you, what do they want to happen between you, what is going to happen between you, and all readings like that. So please check those out. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications, and that will notify you every time I release a new reading. If you would like an additional free reading every single week, which is exclusive to my email subscribers, then please also sign up to those by clicking on the link which is below this video. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye.